Hello guys, Nigel here with you, and it's a beautiful sunny day today in Gloucester, and yeah, we're saying temperatures like 15 degrees or something, perfect for painting. But at the moment there's no painting going on because I don't have any paint, because I've ordered some paint from Arkwright and it's taking forever to come again. So anyway, got the axles all done. They're here next to me, out on the patio, so they come out here for the day and then go in the garage during the night. Also been busy working on the Mustang the last one day. Got the brake calipers back all together and all painted and everything. I'll show you that in a second. But today this video is all about unboxing the gorgeous Ashcroft Locker diff, which finally turned up. I finished the axle Tuesday, and then straight away got a notification to say that the diff is going to be delivered the next day. So it doesn't matter. It's just the rear axle's easy. It's just a case of dropping it in and then sliding the shafts in. It's not like the front where it has to go in first. So at least it doesn't matter about waiting around. So I'll show you these axles and then we'll get in the garage. I'll quickly show you the Mustang and then we'll look at this diff. So there we go guys, there's the axles and there's the axles. If I think of it, I'll put a picture up now so you get a before and after, and as you can see they're quite shiny and everything's looking good and really nice. So be a shame to get mud on them, wouldn't it? But something I would like to know from the more experienced guys out there, these back plates, should I have them or not? Should I be taking them off? I guess the mud and stones and all that can get behind them, but I don't know. Let me know. There's Jess coming to have a look now. Right, so let's get in the garage and have a look at what's going on in there. Back to my little cubby hole. So there's the Mustang up on its brilliant. This thing's bloody awesome. There's the Mustang, there's the brakes. Nice bright orange paint on the calipers. I can't remember the name of the paint, but it's very good stuff. It goes down really well, but it has a big issue. It solders brake caliper paint, but the brake fluid actually attacks it. So, well done. So yeah, painted the brakes as well. That's Corollas on there. And there we go. So I've had all the arch liners out and everything. Got a light up in there so we can see what I'm doing. It's one of the problems with my garage, I don't have enough lighting. So this is what we're going to look at today. This is the Ashcroft Air Locker, and mine is serial number 9225. So obviously he sold 9,225 of these. So big old box again, the same as the ATB was. I've got the strap on. I haven't looked in there yet, but you can see we've got lots of stuff. You can have a read of that yourself. Pull these straps out of the way. You can read that's all the freeze frame and read all the features. There we go. So you can see what's going on. It says the only thing that needs to be done is a 1/4 inch BSP tap fitting for the airline, and I don't have a 1/4 BSP tap, so I have to go borrow one off someone. There we are. So air locker, pair of quality journal bearings, nylon airline, pneumatic solenoid activation switch face your front, switch face your rear, air feed pipe with pneumatic fittings. Shame we didn't come with a free pump, eh? Right, so let's get this camera mounted and then we'll get it unboxed and have a look. Just quickly go, that's that brake caliper paint, Technique, whatever, the lava orange is the colour. And it says heat resistant, long lasting finish, rapid drying and all that. It says it's resistant to chemicals. Yeah, well, I got brake fluid on it and it took the gloss off. So yeah, so just be wary if you use that stuff. Right, so let's get into this Ashcroft Locker diff, which is absolutely wonderful. Now if you're wondering why I'm getting all this stuff, let's go back to basics, and if you are knowledgeable about Land Rovers, fast forward, because I'm just going to explain why we get all this stuff. ATBs and lockers and everything. The Land Rover Defender from the factory comes with open diffs, centre, front and rear. So although they say it's 4-wheel drive, it's not, it's 1-wheel drive. So if you get a box standard Defender with the centre diff unlocked, okay, so it's just a differential and no locking diffs front or rear, if you stick it in a ditch and you've got one wheel in the air, you'll go nowhere. That one wheel will spin and nothing else will happen. So you engage your centre lock, okay, so that's locked the front and the rear axles together now. So instead of it being a diff, it's just basically a bar, if you like, a lump of metal which is connecting the front and rear axles together. So if both the front wheels have grip and one rear wheel is in the air and that one rear wheel was spinning, you lock your centre diff and now your front wheels are going to get some power. So they put power to the front wheels. If one of those wheels is just stuck in the middle of nowhere and spinning, you will now have no wheel drive again, because you'll have two wheels spinning and two wheels not doing anything. So if you have a locking diff, right, in your front axle, the same as if you lock your centre diff, you can lock the front axle. So now you've got your Land Rover in a ditch with the front down in the ditch, one back wheel up in the air. You lock your front diff, okay? Now both wheels will spin together. The rear's still open, remember? So you've got a rear wheel spinning in the air, and you've got both front wheels spinning together. So if they can get some grip, they will drag you out the ditch. If they can't, if they're just spinning, you engage your rear locker. So now you've got your front two wheels locked, your centre diff is locked, so your axles are locked together, and you've got your rear two wheels locked, they're locked together. So now you have four-wheel drive, okay? Everything is locked. So you can now drag yourself up out of the ditch, because unless you've got three wheels, one wheel in the air, three wheels gripping, and they're all spinning, then it's time to get the winch out. But basically that's the way it works. Now with an ATB, which is what I've got in my centre diff and in the front axle, that will basically send torque equally to both wheels to a certain extent. It uses gears and friction and everything. If you have one wheel in the air with an ATB, it becomes an open diff. It will just spin that one wheel, okay? So don't be fooled by people telling you it's as good as a locker. It's not. It's nothing like as good as a locker, but it is a lot kinder to the powertrain. Now remember, with your Defender, your weak link after your diffs is your CV joints. So if you put a locker in the front, okay, and you've got standard shafts and you're in a ditch like I just said, if you've got one wheel spinning, not getting any grip, and the other wheel's got grip, you are putting the whole weight of that Land Rover on that one wheel, one drive shaft, one CV joint, things go bang. So that's why I've got an ATB in the front and a locker in the back. If I had heavy duty shafts and CV joints, I would put a locker in the front, no worries. Now if you want to see all this in action, as I say, go to Defender 90 Orkney, go and have a look at his Damo's site, and you'll see some fantastic off-roading, and you'll see these things come together. The other problem with a locker, one other problem with a locker is if you're on a side slope and you're on slippery grass, you don't want to engage the locker, because if you make if you spin the wheels and both wheels lock together, you will just slide down the slope. So you'll hear people, locker off, locker on, locker off. You'll hear them, especially on Damo's channel, you'll hear the observers, they'll be shouting locker on, locker off, and that's why. If you're on a side slope and you've got both wheels locked and one wheel hasn't got as much grip as the other, if you spin them, you will just slip down. Whereas with an open diff, it will actually allow one wheel to turn at a different speed to the other, so one can spin while the other's got all the grip. If you can imagine, if you've got this wheel here is up on the side, this wheel here is down in the bottom, this one doesn't, this one has grip, this one doesn't. If this one spins, it will just drag its way through. If you've got a locker, you'll spin both of them and it will just slip away. Okay, so that's what it's all about. Anyway, I've waffled enough. I will put a timestamp at the bottom of this video to say watch from here if you don't want to hear me waffle. So what we've got here is the Ashcroft air locker, and I'll work out how we open the box. It's going to be the same as before, very beautifully presented, nice box. And we've got another box inside the box by the look of it. So that's a box of bits and pieces. And we've got some styrofoam there, and then we've got the actual diff itself in here. Grab the diff out. Bring the styrofoam with it, and bring the box with it. Get out of the box and put the diff down there. Just see if there's anything else in the box. Nope. So we've got a box of goodies here, and we've got our diff. So initially it looks the same as the ATB in size and everything. Remember, it's made out of EN24 steel, so it's extremely strong. It's I don't know what percentage wise, but it's a hell of a lot stronger than a standard diff. It's amazing thing. The gears inside it are, everything is just better 100%. So we'll open the bag. We won't get it out properly, but we'll open the bag. Beautifully packaged. So we've got our bearings here, and they're genuine Timkins, which is nice. Genuine Timken bearings. Nice to see that Dave's using them. And all fitted for you, all ready to go. Now how you get those bearings off, I do not know, but this is obviously the working end, so that's where your pipe's going to go in by the look of it. So this is going to stay stationary in your axle, and that's going to spin, I'm guessing. So as I said, I've never seen one of these fitted. I've never fitted one, but we're going to do it on the channel here. You'll see how it goes. So fitting it is actually going to be exactly the same. The actual fitting of the diff and setting the the backlash and everything, be exactly the same as setting up a standard diff. In fact, for doing my pinion, I'm going to use the standard diff, and I'm probably going to do that today and make a video of it and show you how I adjust the pinion height to get the pattern right on the gears. But yeah, this is a beautiful piece of kit. So I expect we've got the lovely Ashcroft logo somewhere. No, we haven't. So and I know that this hasn't been hanging around because they've been out of stock for a while. So obviously that's the ring where the air goes. So this is going to be the bit that slides in and out, and it's going to lock and unlock the diff. So that's all good. I'm not going to try and force anything. I'm not going to try and make anything move because it's probably all internal. But what it will basically be, and you can see a diagram on the box, and if you want to see how it works, go to Ashcroft Transmissions website and it shows you on there. But basically it just locks the gears together, so it becomes a lock diff, and then when it's unlocked it's just a normal open diff. It's not a torque biasing diff or anything. So so basically my Land Rover will have an ATB in the front, an ATB in the centre, and a locking diff in the rear. So that's the way it's going. I've changed the centre diff mainly for strength, and because I read so many fantastic reports. I've changed the front diff because the 2-pin diff is known to be quite weak, and also I wanted to get some better traction in the front. Apparently you can really feel the bite when you drive it, and I want a locker in the rear just in case I get stuck in any silly places. And to be honest with you, I may never even take this thing off-road. I probably will. I have to. I've spent all this money on it, but if I never take it off-road it won't get used. But it's just something I want to do. So there we go. So that's the diff itself. So that's over there, and then we've got this box of goodies here. So we've got some instructions here. So there's an exploded diagram of the actual diff there, so you can freeze frame that and have a good look at it and see how it works. So they're giving you all sorts of instructions here. They don't give you a tap by the look of it. They're giving you instructions here on how to fit the quarter BSP fitting, how to wire up your compressor and everything there. So I've got a little compressor I can hook up just to make sure it works, but I haven't bought my compressor yet to actually go into the Land Rover. So the plan initially is to get this in, have it plumbed, and just have the pipe plugged. I haven't even decided on a location for the pump yet, but or for the compressor should I say. So there we go. So that's the instructions there. So we've got 5 meters, I believe it is, of 6mm 6x4mm nylon tubing, so that's handy. We've got some copper tubing here. This is going to be for the internals of the diff, so that's going to bend around everything inside the diff. We've got some bolts and a plate. Now I'm assuming they're going to bolt in and lock the ring into place. I'm sure we can work all that out when we actually fit it. And then we've got in here pneumatic solenoid valve, so it's 12 volt DC. So we've got in there, that's basically just a solenoid valve to go on your compressor. That's going to be the switch for your air on and off. So what basically, if you just connect an air pipe to a compressor and turn the compressor on, as soon as the pressure in the compressor drops, the diff will open. So this is basically a valve that's going to feed the air into the diff and then lock it off so it keeps the pressure in the line. So that's a good thing. And then in here we've got switches. We've got the switch front, we've got rear air locker, and then we've got the switch backing there, and then we've got all sorts of pipe fittings to go on our axle there. So lovely. I'm going to have to go and order yourself a quarter BSP tap now. We've got air locker front. There you get the choice of the air locker front switch there, and there's also an air locker rear switch there. So that's cool. You could put a dummy switch in your Land Rover. So that's all that there together. So when we get this, when we finally get this fitted, as I say, I will do a video on it. It is a lovely bit of kit. I know they work extremely well. I know they're extremely strong. So even if you are, you know, not really intending to go off-road or real heavy off-roading, even just green laning and stuff, one of these is a great thing to buy purely because of its strength and purely because of the weakness of the standard Rover diff. If you've got a 90, you've got the standard Rover diff in the back. If you've got a 110, a Puma, a later 110, you'll have a P38 diff, which I believe is slightly stronger, I'm not sure. If you've got an earlier 110, obviously you've got a Salisbury, so yeah, good to go there. So there we go, that is the Ashcroft Locker for the Rover, standard Rover diff. And as I say, keep your eyes peeled. I will be doing an installation video, and then we'll work out what those bits and pieces are for, and then obviously then there'll be another video later in the year where I'll be connecting it all up and see how it works. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon, and any questions or comments, please leave them down below. See you all later. Bye for now.